Taylor Swift. Why do you hate me so? Why do you hate me so? So, welcome to Snake Cinema Reviews. Well, today is Friday, so Snake Music Reviews. And I have my girl Coils here because everybody else ate but her. Don't know why she refused the meal this week, but hey, it is what it is. So she's now in the vlog. So this is Coils, and we will be reviewing some new music that came out last week. Taylor Swift. Yep, good old Taylor Swift. She dropped a random quarantine album, and you know, I wasn't gonna listen. I'm be honest with you guys. I put a poll on Instagram seeing if people wanted me to rant about Taylor Swift, because a lot of my people, a lot of my friends and family know how much I hate that artist. And I'm not gonna go too much into why I hate her, because let's just say she, like her enemy Kanye, she's known more for her controversies, beefs, antics, you know, things that has nothing to do with music. She's more known for that nowadays than the actual music. So that's the run-of-the-mill of why I don't care for her as an artist. But another reason why I don't care for her as an artist has to do with this new album. She can't seem to make up her mind what genre she wants to stay in. Like, it's just like, ma'am, like, what are you doing? Like, she started off in country, started off as a country artist back in, I think her first album came out in 2006, if I'm correct. And then she dominated that, won all kinds of awards. Country music loved her, everybody embraced her. And then she slowly started to transition into pop. I believe it was either Speak Now, where she started incorporating some pop, or definitely Red album. She definitely started going pop, and she stuck with that for a while, for a good little ride, a good couple of albums. She was pop princess, pop star Taylor Swift, after being known as a country singer. And then after years of antics and controversy and antics and her bitching and complaining about somebody doing her wrong and beefs, and her versus Kanye, her versus Katy Perry, her versus the world, her versus a nigga she dated. I mean, it's just, you know, the more pop she was, the more she was known for things that had shit to do with music. So it was like, but I will say, back in the day when she first came out, I was a huge fan. When Taylor Swift first came out, her first album, her first, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I got my notes, sorry. Her first 4 albums, maybe 5 albums, I was digging. But really, when she was in her country bag, I was like, oh, cool. Young, hip, you know, country star. You know, her songs are actually banging. Her songs are good. She's a good singer. She plays the guitar. She writes her own shit. Like, I was like, okay, I like this little girl. Like, I like this artist. She's cool. Like, I can see myself supporting her and buying her records and stuff like that. But then she blew me away with Red. I'm gonna be honest, it's my all-time favorite Taylor Swift album. That's the only album that I listen to today. That's the only album I will defend when people say they don't like Taylor Swift's music. I'm like, hey, you should go check Red out. And a little bit of 1989. And so I'm not going to sit here and say I've always hated Taylor Swift. I haven't always been a Taylor Swift hater. But as of recent, I just didn't care for her. And I was like, man, you're going to be on that list of artists that I really just don't care for. And when people try to get me to like, or people try to talk about around me, I'm going to groan and resent, like, why do we have to bring her up in conversation when we talk about music? You know, with my friends and stuff like that. Like, why do we have to bring this heifer up? So it became that. She started becoming more known for controversies and beefs with other people, and bitching and complaining about, oh, they're not paying artists enough money, even though she's like one of the richest artists in the world. So it's like, like, you're talking out of privilege. I know plenty of artists who aren't getting paid, and you're trying to make it all about you. And it was just, she did some other stuff where she was complaining about something, and then we were like, and everybody was kind of side-eyeing her like, what? Like, really? Like, we could say that about a lot of other artists being, you know, robbed or stuff like that, or being taken advantage of, but you, Miss, I got the whole world in my hand, Taylor Swift, like, nah, we don't want to hear about your woes and your woe is me's when you're winning everything, all the awards and all the accolades and all the tours and all the money and #1 album for 5 months in a row. And it's like, we don't care, Taylor. We don't care. So that's how it's been for the past couple of years. And then, you know, she's still around, still trying to be relevant. Another reason why I didn't like her, why I stopped liking her and lost all respect for her as a fan, is when, you know, I hate to get political, but when the KKK people started saying that she's the Aryan princess, and they were like, she's the mascot. Like, they were very vocal on social media, like Facebook and stuff like that, about being pro Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift was silent throughout the whole thing. Like, she didn't denounce. She didn't say, hey, y'all, I'm not with that group. Like, and in fact, when somebody pointed that out, like, hey, why are you silent when these people are when these racists are very, very vocal about you being their queen and you're not saying anything? She tried to sue the person who brought it up. She tried to her lawyer sent them a cease and desist letter. And it was like, you're not going after the KKK for saying that you're part of them, but you're going after the people who were like, why are you silent when the KKK are saying you're a part of them? It was just weird. It was just weird. And now she's all woke and liberal, and let's stick up for the gays, and let's lift up the blacks, and teach his own. Like, thank you for being on the right side of history. Thank you for your recent posts about Black Lives Matter and how you support. Thank you for that, but I don't know how much of it is genuine. I don't know if it's just you're trying to save face, if this is what we see with a lot of white celebrities, fake activism, fake wokeness. I don't know, but hey, at least you're speaking now, even though years ago when the KKK said that you were on their team, you kept your mouth shut and didn't say shit. So, but then I digress. Enough of my Taylor Swift rant. Let's talk about why I really cannot stand her. I really can't stand her because I can't stand her as an artist, but she makes some pretty damn good music. I'm sorry. This new album she just dropped last week, Folklore, which I'm about to get on a rant about that and my side-eyeing why she jumped genres again. First she's country, then she's pop, now she's folk, indie, Alanis Morissette type of singer now. It's like, but damn it, this album's good. I can't hate on the work. I can hate the artist. You know, the whole separate the art from the artist. It can be applied here because she's not a murderer. She's not a rapist. She's not a criminal like R. Kelly or Bill Cosby. She's not a coon like Kanye. So you can separate she's not transphobic as that we know of right now, like J.K. Rowling. So it's easy to separate the artist from the art. You cannot like the artist but like the art when it comes to Taylor Swift, because say what you will about her being the brat and all this other stuff and coming off as a bitch and her personality and all these beefs, the bitch can make good music. And I can humbly say that I enjoyed this new album of hers, Folklore. I mean, it's 16 songs and I liked over half of it. And so, like, when you make songs that's so good that I have to put on my different playlists, like let's see, which song do I love the most? It's a tie between Mad Woman and The One, the first track of the album, The One. It's a tie between those two, but either one of those can be in my top 10 best songs of the year. And this album is going to be top 10 or top 20 of my favorite albums of 2020 so far, because I've already started the list for the first half of the year, and then of course as more artists come out and the more reviews I do, you know, it could switch, it could change some stuff. Some people might get knocked off, some people might get add on, but right now, as of right now, I can see Taylor Swift's Folklore album is at least top 20 of 2020, maybe top 15 albums. I'm not gonna throw her on top 10 yet because I'm not really a fan of hers, but like I said, I cannot deny good music. I cannot deny good songwriting. I cannot deny good vocals. She did this shit, and it got me conflicted because it's like, oh, I can't stand you as a person. I can't stand you as a human being, as a celebrity. You're one of those celebrities that make me cringe, but damn it, I can't deny that your talent, Miss Swift. I can't deny that you make decent work. Like I said, her first 3 albums I'm a big fan of. I definitely love Red. Her first official pop album, in my opinion, where she completely left country and went pop. And so, you know, but her last couple of albums these past few years, I believe Lover, Reputation, and, you know, 1989 is arguably good, arguably not so good, but Reputation was trash. Lover was boring and put me to sleep, and a lot of those songs were trash, and I believe that pro-gay song on that album was very pandering. And very weak. Like, gay people have songs that are like our national anthem from all these different pop artists over the years, from the Madonnas to the Lady Gagas to whoever, Diana Ross and stuff like that, that are way better than the bullshit Taylor tried to give the gays. And so, yeah, that was trash. That was trash. Y'all white gays cannot convince me to like that song at all, nor that album. So I'm sorry. She could come with better material than that. That was embarrassing. But in Reputation, I will fight people to the death. Reputation is the worst album ever created, especially that year that it came out. It was just trash. It was horrible. It was horrible. She just went too far. And it showed that she did not give a fuck. So, because she knew that she could give her fans trash and they would take it. So, yeah. But, again, let's talk about Folklore. Folklore is amazing. It's great. Standout songs. I have to give credit to where credit due. The standout songs, The One, Mad Woman, August, My, Tear Ricochet. It's good. It's great. It's amazing. It's mature. I like this. But here is my gripe. Here is my gripe. I don't know how genuine this is. I don't know if this is just a gimmick for Miss Swift, just to infiltrate another genre that she has yet to tap. Because like I said, she was country, then she was pop, then she was whatever the hell Reputation was. And then now she's folk indie, soft rock. I don't, acoustic, Alanis Morissette. It's just, you know, Mumford & Sons. I get a good Mumford & Sons vibe from this album, which is good. It's good music. But if I was an artist in this realm, and I worked my ass off and I'm dominating this particular genre, and I have an album come out and I'm like, yes, we could possibly make it to the Grammys. We could possibly get recognized for this album in this genre, and then all of a sudden you have pop princess Taylor Swift just whoosh in and take all the awards from you, or at least be nominated in your division, in your genre, when she was never in your genre in the first place. I would feel some type of way. I would really feel some type of way if I was a folk artist out there, you know, the Mumford & Sons and all those other people. I would really feel some type of way, like side-eyeing, like, really? You gonna come into our division? You done took over country, dominated that, got all the awards. You done took over pop music, dominated that, got all the awards. even on albums that you didn't deserve to get the awards, but you got it. And it's like, now you're coming into our space, our realm. I would feel some type of way, which is why this album is so conflicting, because it's good music. It's amazing music. I would not deny her talent. She is a great songwriter. She's a good singer. But I would feel some type of way that you just jump ship yet another music genre to join my music genre if I was, you know, a folk artist in the music industry. Like, I've been in this, like, there's some folk artists, some indie artists, indie rock, indie soft pop that's been in this game for over 10 years, over 20 years, never get the recognition besides their small core fans, and then all of a sudden this big major mega superstar just jump in and drops an album and everybody is giving it high praise, and it's like, a word? Like, really? And you know she's going to get awards. You know the Grammys are going to give her some shit for this. You know MTV, VH1, all those people are going to throw things at her for this album. And I would just feel some type of way if I was an artist in this genre. I would really. She's featuring the artist Bun Iver. If I was him, I'd be like, why are you in my category? Why are you in my section of the world, my mecca? Like, and the song's good. Exile is good. It's a beautiful song. But I would be like, okay, a feature is one thing. You making a complete album in my genre, I would feel some type of way. Artists have evolved a lot over the years. A lot of artists do switch genres. A lot of artists blend genres, you know. With hip-hop today, it's hip-hop, it's rock, it's rap, it's everything together all in one. It's like a mishmash of things now. But some stuff just seems forced, and some stuff just seems teetering the line of just appropriating or taking over something that you're not genuinely a part of, your core roots aren't a part of. For example, Justin Timberlake. When Justin Timberlake first started out, you know, post Mickey Mouse Club and all the other shit he was in as a kid, when he was with the boy band groups, he was a pop star. All pop everywhere. And then he came solo. He was still pop, but he was blending pop with R&B. He was blending pop with hip hop because he was working a lot with Timbaland and other producers like that. And he was like, you know, he was good at the pop R&B mix. When you think of pop R&B mix, you thought of Justin Timberlake, especially in his solo career. And he was able to cross those two genres together, mix those two genres together, to where whenever he dropped an album or dropped a single, you would hear it on both hip hop and R&B radio stations, as well as the top 40, you know, contemporary pop music radio stations. Like, he dominated all that stuff because he was great at blending that stuff in. Then he dropped Man in the Woods, and everybody side-eye looked at him like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? You're doing a bluegrass country now? But for over 10 years, you've been giving us pop R&B, pop and B, you know? And then all of a sudden now we're bluegrass country. And I would feel some type of way as a country artist that I worked my ass off being in this genre, and then all of a sudden Mr. Pop Boy, Mr. Pop Lock and Drop, Mr. R&B, Mr. I'm Bringing Sexy Back just mosey on in and dropped an album, and now he's nominated for best country artist or whatever, or best country album. I would feel, if I was a country artist, I would have felt some type of way with Man in the Woods came out that year, because I'd be like, dude, you already taken over the R&B section. You be nominated with the R&B artists in Grammys and MTVs and VH1, but you also be nominated with the pop. And now you're trying to jump into country? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, but luckily he didn't win anything for that, because that album was trash. That album was straight trash. Man in the Woods, I hope he never does shit like that again. Go back to your roots. Go back to what you're good at, which is R&B and pop. Miley Cyrus is another one. She came out the gate, well, she came out the gate when she was with Disney with pop music, you know, the nice kiddie pop music. Then when she became a solo artist, she tried to hit us with that hip hop stuff. She started trying to be, you know, with the hip hop artists, with working with Mike Will and doing all the twerking and shit and appropriating black culture and black music. And then when she when that got boring to her, she wanted to go back to country and want to make a country album. And now she has a pop country album Or she dropped an EP that's kind of a mixture of both, and it's like, make up your mind what genre you want to be in. Stop trying to win awards and win accolades and jump into, why can't you just be good at what you're good at? Lady Gaga is good at what she's good at because she sticks with her genre. Yes, she did that Tony Bennett jazz album, but I consider that more his album than hers. And yes, she did, what's the movie with the Oscar that she won or whatever, like, but she still had pop in it. Like, she stuck to her pop roots. For the most part, all of her albums have been pop. Beyonce is the queen of what she do. She is an R&B act, but she's so good at what she does that they just throw her in pop. They throw her in popular music, but at her roots, she's an R&B artist. So it's like, she sticks with what she wants. She's good at what she does because she sticks to her genre. There are a lot of artists that are great and amazing at what they do because they stick with their genres. Yes, they may dab a little here or there. Yes, they may be featured in other things, in other artists' albums, but they just don't jump ship and go from one to another to another. They stick with their roots. Even after experimenting, having a little fun with a song or two or a single or two in another genre. Like, but yes, Beyonce was featured with the Dixie Chicks in a country song, but she never went completely country. She just was featured in a song. Gaga the same way. These EDM DJs that I love so much, Kygo, Avicii, Skrillex, they have worked with so many people, so many, from hip-hop to R&B to pop to country, but they stuck to their roots. Like, when they produced those tracks with those different artists and those different genres, you still heard the electronic dance. You still heard the drops. They never went away from their dance music roots. So it's like, stick with something and stay there. Stop jumping ships like the Mileys and the Justins and the Taylor Swifts, because be known, I don't know. I'm conflicted. And maybe this is just biased because I hate her so much. Like, I just have a disdain for her. But I feel that same way about a lot of artists. If every 2 or 3 albums you jump and ship to another genre, I'm not going to keep trying to keep up with you. I'm not going to keep trying to figure out what type of artist you're trying to be. If every 2 albums, every 3 albums, okay, I'm done with this, I'm bored with this, let's go over here and see what hip-hop's doing, let's go over here and see what country's doing, let's go over here and see what EDM's doing. Like, no, stay with one thing. Be known and be the best at one thing. You can be featured with other genres, you can have a song or two in other genres, but when you just jump and ship to complete different albums, it's frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating because I love this album. Folklore is a great, amazing album. I think it's the best album Taylor Swift could ever give us. But at this point, if I look at her discography, I just, it's like, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? Do you want to be a folk artist? Do you want to be country? Do you want to be pop? I don't know. If I had to rate this album, it's a 10 out of 10. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I would give, me personally, this artist herself, her personality, her as an artist, her as a person, is a 1.5 out of 10. But when she makes a good album, I can't help but say it's a good album. So that's it. That is my